this was such a special cruise for me.
It's nice being able to share this journey of the loop with family.
The current is ripping through here.
And we have this amazing backdrop, the mountains.
Hi, we're Jen, Elliot, and Ollie. In 2019, we left the United States and backpacked through 11 countries, all before deciding to come back home and try something completely new, pivoting into boat life. Our current adventure is America's Great Loop, a 6,000-mile journey through small towns, big cities, and the wilderness from the eastern portion of the United States, through the Great Lakes and Canada, and down the Midwest rivers, all aboard our home on the water, Pivot. Make sure you subscribe as we share our journey through the highs, lows, and everything in between.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are still anchored right out of Lower Manhattan, looking at Ellis Island right now. It was pretty crazy being here last night, and the cruise was amazing.
Given the location, we had a fairly calm night, but it has ramped up as the activity has ramped up throughout the day, and it is time to go.
Today's cruise is going to be awesome. We're going to be picking up family along the way. We already have Carol, Jen's mom, joining us. Good morning. It's rainy and cold, but when traveling up the Hudson, we've heard you have to time the tides and the current. And slack current was about 20 minutes ago, so it's going to be rising for the next 6 hours. So that's our cue to leave.
Yeah, so let's pull up the anchor.
Carol's driving to New York Harbor.
Oh my goodness. We are leaving New York, and this is such a special cruise for me. This has been on the top of a bucket list in terms of the Great Loop of what places we were going to see and things to do. This was it, and so it's just been really special to be here, to be able to cruise on the Hudson, to be able to cruise next to the Statue of Liberty, and to be able to see all these different buildings, recognize who the architect is, think about some of the city planners that were involved in making New York the city that I so deeply love.
Almost like we're in a different world after we passed the George Washington Bridge outside of the hustle and bustle of New York City. And we're coming across to the west side, the New Jersey side, and here's Palisades State Park. And we're picking up some more family here. We're gonna drop the hook, drop Fred, and go pick him up and continue our cruise today. It's kind of fun, and it's nice being able to share this journey of the loop with family. Pivot's anchored down here at Palisades Park. Not a bad spot. We were just thinking, like, you know, the dinghy ride to pick them up, it's like not far at all. It's gonna take a long time because it's almost flood, max current coming in, which is like 2 knots. So it's gonna be a little slow.
And just like that, we've dropped the anchor and now we are ready to put the dinghy down so we can pick up our guests.
You ready?
Yeah, this current is tough.
This is probably the ultimate test of the propulsion motor, Hudson River and max current. Jennifer's moving. It's not fast, but she's moving. So it's good. Luckily, they're coming back with the current, so it should be easier then. I decided to stay on board, that way I'm on pivot in case something happens, because we're literally anchored like right off the Hudson. I mean, it's in Anchorage on Navionics. I'm active captain, but it'd just be good to stay watch. What do you think? For those of you wondering, you know we trained Ollie to do her business during the New Jersey section of the loop because we didn't go to shore for like a week. And we were curious, okay, after being in Staten Island for 3 days and then now kind of on and off the boat, is she gonna relapse and not really do her business on the boat, or is she gonna kind of know how to do it? Last night we didn't go to shore. There's not really good shore access there. It's more of just a sites type of anchorage. And this morning, Ollie did her business, number 1. And number 2, she kind of just triggered. So like once the engine starts up in the morning, she's like, I'm not gonna be taking to shore, am I? She does her business, so that's amazing. Who's a good girl? Ollie, are you a good girl? Yeah, you are.
The current is ripping through here. Right now we are at like full capacity in the terms of the current. So it is at maximum strength and we can feel it. It took me, I think like 8, maybe 10 minutes max to go and get Chris and bring her back. And I think probably 5 minutes was spent just going that way. And then like 1 minute back or maybe 2 minutes max.
Yeah, I like looked back and you were there.
Yeah.
All right, time to raise the dinghy.
Yeah.
Originally, we were gonna have Luke on board too for the cruise, but leaving from Chris's house, which we'll introduce Chris in a second, to get here, they were gonna like jockey cars around, but there was so much traffic this morning that it was gonna take literally twice as long. So coming here was supposed to be an hour, it took 2 hours. So anyway, they shifted plans a little bit and we're just gonna meet Luke at our destination.
So we just picked up my sister-in-law, Chris, who lives in New Jersey, and she's gonna travel with us north to Bear Mountain State Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be here, guys. And I actually hike a lot on Bear Mountain.
Really?
So yeah. And then there's also after you drop me off, you can go further up, you know, where Bannerman's Castle is.
Yeah.
And there's Breakneck Ridge Rock Scramble. So you should try to do that.
Okay.
When you get a chance.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Excited to be on your boat.
Spirit life trickle down. Don't let a drop go to waste. The edge is wearing out. New patterns form, new places. Leave the past as past. Call the future blessed. Stones roll back, flying through the cracks. Lift your head to the north. Let time run its course. It's alright. It's alright. sun on your face, melting the doubt away. It's alright, it's alright. Leave the past as past, call the future blessed.
This is the first time in as long as we've been cruising that we have gotten into higher elevation that we're cruising right next to. It's kind of wild because for us, we have been so used to seeing these very low, like marshlands and only small elevation gains right beside the water. But here we're finally seeing the Palisades, which have these like really stark, steep cliffs and steep drop-offs. Then further ahead of us, we can see the Catskills and the like more rolling mountains. On the other side of us, we see a little bit more of these like hills. And so it's really cool because we're seeing this diversity of the landscape, which we have not seen yet because we've been traveling in primarily like familiar to us places. So this is so cool to be able to be traveling in these new spots.
Chris, who's an avid hiker, as you guys heard earlier, just showed me this app, and it's called Peak Finder, and it basically uses AR to see the mountains in front of you, how high they are and what they're called. So we just like looked it up and looked at Bear Mountain, which is 1,200 feet, a little bit off to port, and that's what we're gonna be climbing tomorrow, hopefully. So make sure you subscribe to see that.
About to finish our 6-hour cruise for the day, and we are coming up to Bear Mountain State Park, where we'll be picking up Luke, my stepdad, and then eventually dropping off our 3 guests, Luke, Chris, and my mom, back so that they can go back to New Jersey.
We're anchoring in mountains.
I know, this is crazy.
Isn't this incredible?
Yeah. This is wild.
That's 100?
Yeah.
There's a bridle there. Good cruise?
Nice,
High five.
that was great.
Cruise.
I loved it. It was beautiful. The Hudson River is beautiful and really wide. And as Jen said, there are a lot of mountains on either side of us. So it was a really beautiful day, and it was really calm, so I didn't get sick. And we're going to be docking now at the Bear Mountain docking area and meet up with Luke, and Carol and I will disembark and have to say goodbye, sadly, to Jen and Elliot.
But first we're going to have some good food.
Yeah.
Yes. Good job.
Thanks.
It's our
First time cruising in the Hudson.
and docking around mountains.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. We have Luke on board, which is great. It's about a 6-minute ride to the dinghy. Wow, that's a big ship. We're grilling out tonight. It's one of our favorite things to do on board Pivot. And now that we keep our grill connected, we just take the propane and move that inside. It's so easy just to do it. So Jen whipped up
a feast. So we're making this grilled Mexican salad. And so what that means is like a Mexican seasoning, a bunch of different veggies, tofu over quinoa. And it's kind of different. Maybe not what you think about when you think about Mexican, or maybe it is, who knows. But it's, honestly, it's good food. And we have this amazing backdrop, the mountains. 2 railroads going by and then a couple roads. I mean, normally you don't want to be anchored by roads, but it's kind of interesting to see the cars as they're winding around these mountains.
Hello.
Hello, Elliot, been walked, all the business. I saw everybody off. It's gonna be an amazing day tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow when we continue our journey on America's Great Loop.